I think the futuristic Black Mirror version of this technology is a camera in your computer or your television reading your facial features as you watch it, and that dictating everything that goes into your research and your information that goes back to a network or a TV show.
Well, there are companies right now that are actually doing that, that actually have TVs in front of people and are literally watching their facial expressions as they're consuming media. And there's a whole bunch, there's some on the West Coast or some throughout. And they're looking at your eye clicks, flicks, what you're doing when you look down, when you look away. That's data we can use in our platform. We haven't done that yet, but that's data we can certainly use to inform and enhance. But it isn't what we're going to do, because it is massive amounts of data when you look at a show on a second by second basis. And
wow.
And
so not even the future, it's happening now.
It's happening right now. It's happening right now.
And how about, are you guys only doing long form content currently? Is there any plan to move towards short form? We're seeing a lot of TikToks, a lot of, shorter content being made right now. What are your thoughts on that?
We're definitely interested in moving into short form. And when we think about it, when we think about all the YouTube channels, or if you want to start a YouTube channel, don't you want to know pretty quickly what works and what doesn't? You will know in some sense, because you're going to get follows, likes, etc., depending on the platform, and views. So you're going to know that. But if you can start to predict it and start to figure out what elements you should include, I think it's very, very meaningful to move that audience forward. So we're looking at that, and we're also looking at commercials, working with brands so that we can help them predict the performance of their creative and whether or not they need certain elements. So we've done some experimental work in this, and one of them was a question about whether or not the animation was as effective as a celebrity, and do you need it? And in a couple of instances, we can say, no, you don't. The character you created is actually resonating really well, and you should put your money elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. I think of like Flo the progressive girl.
Yes.
Like she wasn't a celebrity, and now she is.
I love Flo. Love Flo. Yes. I mean, so, if they change those ads, if they take Flo out, and they have in a couple of them recently, I would love to know if they're resonating as well.
You had all these hobbies and things that towards the beginning of our conversation that you had mentioned. How do you balance all of your, work life, being a creator of a company, and also still keeping your life really rich and meaningful?
Well, if you're me, you don't sleep a lot. I try to make myself sleep. I just carve it out. I mean, and one of the things I think that COVID has changed with all of us working at home, which has been, very difficult originally, but our company was so set up for it because we always did Friday work at home anyway. And so we just graduated into it. I would say in some sense it's been harder, but in some sense it's been easier. And you really have to be intentional. You have to make the decision, I need some time for me. And I'm one of those people that will go cook dinner, go bake something, and go back to work after that. So I do have that luxury now, and I think we all do to an extent when we're working from home constantly, is to do that. But I'm one of those people that is never bored, always has something I need to do next, and that's why sometimes I struggle to sleep, because I'm like, oh, I really should do these other 9 things. And so I have to teach myself that I'm really not very good at it.
I'm the same way. I go to bed with a checklist in my head. Half the time I'm on my phone typing it out so I don't forget. I do the same thing. I'll take my personal time at any point in the day, usually before the sunset, so I can get out and get some sun and some natural air, and then I'll go back and work in the evening. Like you said, with COVID, it's, if you can make your own schedule, then you can take advantage of the outdoors and time with your family as well.